The reign of despair never really stopped for Ein, our protagonist. From the moment he was born, the gods handed him what the world saw as a curse, the job of Appraiser, a non-combatant class, lowly and unwanted. In a world where worth is measured by strength, Ein never stood a chance. Mocked, used, abandoned, that was his life. And now, bloodied and broken, he lies alone in a dark dungeon, thinking this must be the end. Why was I even born? He wonders. With no victories to his name and nothing to show for a lifetime of humiliation, death feels like the final insult. He laughs bitterly, calling himself trash, because that's how everyone saw him. But the world isn't done with Ein yet. Hours earlier, he'd been fighting alongside a party of adventurers. Zoid, the arrogant swordsman, and Jolene, a cold mage, treated him like garbage. They fought monsters together, sure, but Ein wasn't allowed to fight. His only job was to appraise monster corpses and scavenge materials. That's what rubbish pickers like him are good for, after all. In this world, everyone is assigned a job at birth by the goddess of light and a skill by the goddess of darkness. These jobs fall into ranks: rare, high common, and low common. Zoid and Jolene, high common. Swordsman and mage, respectable, battle-ready. Ein, low common. Appraiser, weak, disposable. Still, Ein tried to be useful. He carried their supplies, examined monster remains, and endured their constant abuse. He even appraised the teeth of a giant rat and identified them as valuable materials, rank D. But that didn't stop the insults. When he asked for help opening a monster's mouth, they mocked him for being too weak to do it himself. And yet, he kept going. Because even crumbs from adventurers like them meant survival. Later, they stumbled upon the corpse of a hellhound, dangerous, valuable prey. Ein noted something strange. The hellhound shouldn't even be in this dungeon, according to the guild's map, but his warning was ignored. Instead, he was forced to collect materials again, told to shut up, and threatened when he hesitated. "You're fired," Zoid snapped. "Leave your gear and walk." Ein gave in. He begged to stay, knowing no other party would take him, and just like that, he followed the people who hated him into the depths of the dungeon. That's when everything unraveled. They found more hellhound corpses, dozens of them. Ein's gut twisted. This wasn't normal. "Who killed all these monsters?" he asked. "Why didn't they take the materials?" The answer came too late. A massive pack of hellhounds appeared, fangs bared. Zoid panicked. With no way to fight or escape, he made a choice: sacrifice Ein. "Paralyze him," he ordered. Jolene hesitated, but obeyed. Ein fell to the ground, frozen as the two ran for their lives, using him as bait. He screamed for help, begged them to stay, but they were gone. The paralysis wore off just in time for Ein to run. He dashed blindly through the tunnels, hunted like prey. Hellhounds blocked every path. One wrong step, and he found himself cornered, facing a cliff. Behind him, death by monster. Ahead, death by fall. "Why did I think I could change anything?" he whispered. Still, he chose to jump. Darkness swallowed him. And then, a miracle. Ein awoke in a hidden sanctuary, deep underground. A massive tree towered above him, glowing softly, radiating life. His wounds, gone. His pain vanished. In front of him flowed a stream of crystal-clear water. He drank and gasped. "Appraise," he said. "Yggdrasil drops. S-rank healing water." He looked up. Yggdrasil, the world tree. Thought extinct. He had stumbled upon the ancient source of mana itself, a sacred being that once nourished the entire world. No one knew it still existed. It shouldn't even be here. But it was. And it had saved him. "Thank you," he whispered. A gentle voice answered, almost like a dream. Was it the tree? A spirit? I knew one thing. This wasn't the end. It was a second chance. With nowhere else to go and no one to trust, Ein made a decision. He'd leave the tree's sanctuary and carve his own path out of the dungeon. No more begging. No more limits. This time, he'd rely on himself. He fought his fear and pushed forward. The path was dark, unfamiliar, but he moved anyway, until suddenly, an ambush. A gremlin, fast, merciless. It sliced off his ear before he could react. Then came the death bear, towering, savage. It shattered stone with a single swipe. Ein was done for. He dropped to the ground, vision fading, blood pooling. Then, salvation. A voice echoed through the cavern. "Good grief, I'm only here because she asked me." A figure appeared, calm, powerful, mocking. Don't get the wrong idea, kid. Ein passed out again. When he opened his eyes, his wounds were gone, his sight restored, and standing before him was a girl. Beautiful, ethereal, almost too perfect for this world. Who are you? He didn't get an answer. But one thing was clear. Ein's journey as a powerless outcast was over. The world may still see him as trash, but deep inside this forgotten dungeon, something had changed. He had been saved by something ancient, something magical. And now, the real story begins. If you're enjoying this anime recap, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the rest. Ein, our protagonist, wakes up in a quiet, unfamiliar place. His injuries gone, his body healed. A steaming cup of tea is suddenly thrust in front of him by a gruff woman and her cheerful daughter. Confused, he learns their names, Ursula and Yuri. The tea was made by Yuri herself, and Ursula insists Ein drink it with gratitude. After a bit of awkward hesitation and some shouting, Ein sips it, relieved to find it tastes wonderful. For the first time in what feels like forever, someone is being kind to him. Meanwhile, Ursula demands he thank Yuri properly. As it turns out, it was Yuri who begged Ursula to save him. The terrifying monsters that cornered Ein, gone, thanks to Ursula's power. Ein thanks Yuri with heartfelt sincerity, not knowing just how rare that is. Surprised by his manners, Ursula reveals something shocking. Yuri isn't a normal girl. She's actually the spirit of Yggdrasil, the sacred world tree. Ursula, her guardian. Together they've been hidden deep within this dungeon, isolated for centuries. Yuri's kindness doesn't end there. When Ein lost his eye to the death bear, she had Ursula craft a new one, a prosthetic made from the tree itself. It's called the Spirit Eye, and it holds immense power. With it, Ein can now see more than ever before. Literally. Touched by her kindness, Ein calls Yuri his savior. She blushes, and Ursula grumbles, clearly protective. But when Yuri asks her mother to help Ein escape the dungeon, Ursula hesitates, until she finally gives in. Rather than escorting him, she offers something better. Training. Relentless, unforgiving training that will make him strong enough to survive on his own. The next few days are brutal. Ursula throws Ein into combat with gremlins, forces him to dodge deadly attacks using his Spirit Eye's appraisal powers, and heals his broken body with Yggdrasil's magical droplets, only to repeat the cycle again and again. But Ein pushes through. With every dodge, every wound, every moment of pain, he learns, he adapts, and finally, he lands his first blow. Just when it seems like he's reached a milestone, Ursula kicks the training up a notch. Now he must defeat multiple gremlins, appraise their abilities, and make those skills his own. With determination, and Yuri cheering him on, Ein begins mastering super acceleration, cancel chant, and fireball magic. Half a month passes. His body becomes sharper, his mana pool deeper, and as the final test approaches, Ursula lays it out clearly. It's time to face the beast that once tore him apart. The Death Bear, with fire in his heart, newfound speed in his step, and magic coursing through his veins, Ein steps forward, not as a helpless appraiser, but as someone reborn. His revenge match has begun. Ein, our unlikely protagonist, appraises his newly earned powers, adamantine strength and steel cutter, the spoils of defeating Death Bear. Ursula watches proudly as she declares his training complete. It's time for him to carve his path to the surface. Before he leaves, Ursula hands him a shimmering core, part of Yggdrasil's spirit core. Though hesitant to take something so sacred, Ursula assures him it's only a loan, enchanted to return upon his death. She performs a transplant, upgrading his prosthetic to the divine spirit's prosthetic eye, claiming its true power will reveal itself in time. Suddenly, Yuri appears, from within Ein's eye. Now that the core resides in him, Yuri can physically dwell inside his vision. "I can heal you," she says, promising to support him with Yggdrasil drops. Ursula isn't thrilled, but she confesses that Yuri was always lonely. Entrusting her daughter to Ein is her way of giving Yuri the world. With a vow to protect her, Ein receives a parting gift, infinite storage. With a mark on his palm, he can now store items freely. Ursula also gives him the spirit sword, crafted from Yuri's own branch. But then, surprise twist, Ein's right eye is force-fed a sage's stone, which links Ursula's consciousness to him. She can now monitor everything he sees to make sure he doesn't get too close to Yuri. On their way out, Ein asks Yuri what she wants most. Her answer: to find her sisters, the other Yggdrasils scattered in dungeons around the world. Ein swears they'll travel together to reunite her family. First, though, they've got to get out of this dungeon alive. Ursula guides them remotely through appraised paths. But danger looms. A massive viper strikes. Yuri heals Ein, and they press forward. Finally, they reach a massive door. The final boss awaits. Ursula explains the truth. Each dungeon has a dungeon core, its heart, guarded by a boss monster. To escape, the boss must be defeated. Ein dives into battle with his new skills: adamantine strength, dissolution poison, and the ultimate move taught by Ursula. He unleashes Nova Strike, a devastating blow that finally fells the towering foe. The dungeon core is his reward, and when absorbed, it levels up his eye to level 2, granting the ability to appraise counter-timings. With the boss defeated, the path behind them closes, forever sealing access to Yggdrasil. Now no one can disturb Yuri again. It's bittersweet, but Ein sets out for the surface with no regrets. Topside, Ein returns just in time to catch his former party bragging about how he heroically sacrificed himself. He calls them out, revealing how Zoid and Jolene betrayed him. The crowd turns on them, and Ein, now composed, stronger, and merciful, thanks them for leading him to Yuri and Ursula. Later, Ein helps save a royal carriage from monsters. The grateful passengers? Princess Claudia and Jasper, head of the Silver Phoenix Trading Company. Claudia immediately falls for him. Yuri declares she's his spouse, and Jasper proposes marriage. For business reasons, of course. Instead, Ein settles for friendship and access to Jasper's hidden spirit core intel. Ein and Yuri finally arrive at a hidden dungeon, one that Jasper mentioned might hold clues to Yuri's family. Determined, Ein promises to help her reunite with her sisters, and the two step forward with hope in their hearts. The dungeon's entrance is hidden behind a teleportation spell. When Ein touches the wall, he's transported to a lush jungle, a far cry from the usual stone corridors. But this isn't just a random setting. It's crafted from powerful illusion magic, and the culprit soon reveals herself: Pina, Yuri's mischievous little sister. Pina greets Yuri with playful energy, teasing her for traveling with a human. Before disappearing deeper into the dungeon, she challenges Ein to reach her, warning him that traps and monsters await. And she's not bluffing. Her dungeon is filled with the highest difficulty illusions and enemies. But Ein isn't fazed. With Yuri safe inside his eye and Ursula guiding him, he begins breezing through every trap Pina throws at him, dodging pitfalls, blocking surprise attacks, and slicing through monsters like they're nothing. Frustrated, Pina amps things up, unleashing stealthy ants and powerful enemies like Arachne and Centaur. But nothing works. Ursula's appraisals and Yuri's healing make Ein practically unstoppable. Pina, of course, gets flustered. How can a human be so broken? But even through her outbursts, it's clear she's impressed. Meanwhile, Zoid, cast out and humiliated, enters his own dungeon, desperate to redeem himself. He tries to solo a C-rank monster quest to regain his reputation, only to get wrecked over and over. But in this dungeon, death doesn't mean the end. He keeps getting revived, determined to clear it eventually. Back in Pina's domain, Ein finally reaches the boss room. But something's off. The giant turtle before him is just an illusion. Ein breaks through it with a dispel spell, revealing the real boss, a tiny spirit turtle, Genbu's child. Pina hesitates. She doesn't want to see the little guy hurt, so she calls the fight and declares Ein the winner. Reunion time. Yuri and Pina embrace, overjoyed. Mischief aside, the love between them is real, but Pina isn't content staying behind. She wants to join their journey, and she's not alone. Kurohime, her guardian and daughter of the divine beast Genbu, approves and even gifts Ein a new sage's stone. Ursula gets to work, crafting a new prosthetic eye with Pina's spirit core. The result? A level 4 divine spirit's eye that can now appraise illusions. With their team growing, their bond strengthening, and Yuri happier than ever, Ein feels even more determined. There are still 6 sisters left to find, and with each step, they're getting closer. Ein's next big move starts at the Adventurers Guild, only this time, he's not sneaking in alone. Jasper, the wealthy jade merchant, walks in by his side, putting the room on alert. Whispers ripple through the crowd. An appraiser with a low F rank must be a scam. But Ein's about to drop jaws when he pulls out a pile of rare boss drops, including the skull of the undead king. The whole guild loses it. Of course, the haters pipe up, claiming he must have stolen them. That is, until the capital's guildmaster, Megan, steps in. With the eye of truth, she confirms the items are all legit and praises Ein's strength. Jasper backs him up too, silencing the crowd. Megan is so impressed, she even invites Ein to join her guild. And just when he thinks things are finally quieting down, she catches wind of his hidden dungeon clear and demands to see even more loot. Poor guy can't catch a break. Later that night, just as Ein tries to relax in the bath, Yuri and Pina crash the men's section, spirits unbothered by human norms. Cue steamy chaos. Pina teases Yuri about having a crush, while Ursula goes full overprotective mama mode, threatening to blast Ein into orbit if he lays a finger on her daughter. Even Kurohime joins in, calling Ein Einie like she's part of the family now. But things take a serious turn when she reveals something chilling. There are 7 spirit siblings in total. One of them, Echidna, was thought to have withered away, but her core still exists. The next morning, Guildmaster Megan shows up with a request. An ancient dragon, the Behemoth, is back and wreaking havoc. Only someone like Ein can take it on. Without hesitation, he accepts the SS rank mission. Under the scorching sun, Ein locates the buried monster and launches an attack. The Behemoth awakens with a thunderous roar, mocking the idea that a mere human could defeat it. But Ein doesn't flinch. The battle rages as Behemoth vanishes into the sand, boasting about its invincible hide. But Ein plays it smart, tricking the dragon with illusions, dodging its attacks, and launching a grand spell from inside its body. Protected by barrier, he walks away unscathed. Behemoth, overwhelmed by pain and regret, admits defeat. In his final moments, he reflects on emotions he's never felt: agony, fear, even admiration. For the first time, he was challenged and humbled. Ein appraises the monster's skills: magic nullification, spiral bullet, earth dragon's blessing, one SS rank ability after another. And yet, he humbly credits his team for his success. Soon after, he's summoned to meet the king himself. To Ein's surprise, the royal family showers him with gratitude. Yuri's father even gifts him a royal emblem watch, granting access to restricted areas. It's a powerful tool, and a huge step toward finding Yuri's missing siblings. But in the shadows, envy brews. Zoid watches from afar, bitter over Ein's rise, and someone approaches him, a mysterious spirit named Echidna, offering him strength. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to catch the next part of this anime recap.